everybody, this is Pablo Vargas, and thank you for watching. This is our first episode of the Pablo Vargas Real Estate Podcast Show, and today I have a special guest, and I'm gonna just get straight into it. It's my son Ethan, who's been doing real estate now for I think about 9 months. I just kind of want to share his journey, ask him some questions, and this is kind of like an intro video for him. So, we're just gonna relax, pretend like we're in our living room. This is actually from our living room. This couch right here is from our living room. So, pretend like we're in the living room. We're just having a conversation, and I want the audience to kind of get to know you, and what you do. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about your journey. So, what were you doing before you got into real estate, and what are you doing now?
Before I got into real estate, I'm 19, so I've been out of high school for 1 year. And in that 1 year, it did take me like 4 months to find a job. So before I had a job, I was applying to every place I could find in Delano. That's where I live. So like Taco Bell, Walmart, McDonald's, Subway.
Which I knew you were applying at the time. I didn't realize how many places you applied to.
Yeah.
Was it like 12, 13,
It was
14?
a lot. It was more just like frustration. Like, these guys aren't calling me back, dude. How many do I have to go to get a call back?
Ross, Taco Bell, Home Depot.
Anything you could think of, like in Delano.
Yeah.
I was cool with it. Yeah.
Ethan has a really like dry sense of humor. Like, I've obviously, my first kid, and your kids have these personalities, but he's got a really funny sense of humor that a lot of people don't know about or appreciate. But we're at Home Depot the other day, maybe about 2 weeks ago, and you're like messing with the cash register lady because you had applied a year ago.
A year ago, yeah.
And then what you were like asking her about your application, if they're still gonna call you.
Yeah, and the only reason I asked her that is because I had spoken to another employee when I was applying, and I asked him like, dude, how'd you get this job? And he's like, you know what, man? After like 3 months, they finally gave me a call back. And I was like, 3 months? What the?
Yeah.
3 months. So I told the lady, it's been like a year. That's obviously more than 3 months. Where's my callback? And she's like, oh, you're going to have to apply again.
Yeah, basically just apply for the job, which she didn't, obviously. But so you applied for all those jobs. You finally end up getting a job.
Yeah, I got a job at an after-school program in Delano.
Yeah. And what was that job? What did you do there?
It's a good paying job.
How did you get it?
20
How did you get
an
that
hour.
job?
I got referred. I got like an awesome letter, better than I expected, from one of the friends that I had. I was like, can you write me a small recommendation?
You had some connections.
And she wrote me like the most beautiful letter I've ever seen. I was like, what? So I think that's how I got an interview, and then they hired me to work at this elementary school. And it was 4 hours a day from 2 to 6 for like 20 an hour. But it was the most stressful job ever, like dealing with this class of 20 kids after they came from school for 6 hours. And it was tough. It was tough.
Did you enjoy that job? Like, what did that job entail? What did you learn from that job?
You could see firsthand like how needy those kids were and how much you really were helping them, giving them that attention that they needed. But like on the flip side, dude, you're stressing out. You don't have like 5 seconds to like sit there and relax. You're always like go, attending to their needs and just dealing with all these personalities. So it was difficult. And then also seeing these teachers who were like, you could tell they're stressed out. I remember this one kid was asking his teacher like a question, and she goes, not right now. I'm so stressed out right now. I have so much to do. I was like, oh man.
It's stressful. So a little background, little context. My wife, who I'm married to still after 20 years, we've been married for 20 years. She's a principal, and she's the one that kind of like pushed you for that job, right? She said, hey, you should apply. And obviously you got friends that are teachers and gave you some really good references. Originally it was to apply at her school, right?
Yeah, it was.
At Harvest, where she was teaching at the time. But I think they ended up saying like, no, there's a policy against that because your mom is the principal and you can't. So you ended up applying to a school across town.
No, I applied for the position, and then you get interviewed by the principal at each school.
Right. So you got
It's a little
interviewed.
bit intimidating, but
Yeah.
it's
Was
what
it vice principal or the principal?
oh, vice principal. Vice
Okay,
principal.
yeah. So, which is a little less intimidating, but still intimidating, right?
Nah, it's the same thing. It's the same
But anyway, so you got interviewed. You got the job at this one school. Funny thing is, you were there for a year,
a year.
and now mom is my wife. Your mom is the principal there.
Yeah.
So if you had kept that job, you guys would have ended up at the same school.
Yep.
Which I don't know if that would have been good or not.
No, I think it would have been good. She has like snacks sometimes, and I would have been the one to like,
You would have been in the office snacking. The whole
yeah,
time.
or just like chilling in the office or something like that.
That's awesome. That's super funny. But anyway, so explain to the audience why you quit that job. What happened? What changed?
I don't want to say this was the main reason, but like little things do put a chip on my shoulder. And this real estate guru that we're like watching, I get on
You can say his name.
Ryan Pineda.
He might watch this one day.
We get on an Instagram call, and I'm just talking with him, and he goes, "What are you doing right now? Why are you still at your job? You're a entrepreneur." That's all he told me. And
Wait, hold on. We got to get Sergio. You got to record this so we can tag Ryan in this story right here. So hold on. We're gonna get one of our agents gonna help us out here. Because we got to put this on Instagram or like a short or YouTube. Put it long form. Yeah, there you go. So okay, so he's gonna share the story real quick of what happened. What happened that made you kind of like change from?
So I had missed a convention because I had work, and I told my dad I want to go to work.
He said I want to go make that easy or that
easy paycheck, whatever.
That easy paycheck.
And then
instead of going to a real estate conference,
I come back from work, and he's like, "Hey, I got Ryan Pineda, this real estate guru, on the FaceTime call, or the Instagram
He's not
video
a
call."
guru. He flipped homes. He actually. Anyways, Ryan Pineda is pretty well known now in the real estate business.
So industry. I get on the Instagram. I don't even say anything, and he goes, "Dude, what are you doing? You're working. What are you, an entrepreneur?
You should be here, right?
You should be here." Called me an entrepreneur, and that stuck with me, and I was like, "He's right." So I had made this plan to finish the last 3 months that I had at that job, and I quit. Or I didn't show up the next.
Well, okay, so explain what you were doing. Like what were you doing in real estate?
Oh yeah,
what were you entrepreneuring to do?
I was entrepreneuring to be an investor, a real estate wholesaler, investor.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was doing it. I was going early in the mornings, making the phone calls. I just wasn't spending my full attention, full time of day to do it.
Right.
I was like trying to juggle both.
It's kind of a little ironic, right? That his dad, that does full-time real estate, ends up getting this guy that he goes and watches at these conferences, talks to. Obviously, gets coached by Ryan Pineda. Has been an awesome influence in a lot of people's lives, in my life. And it was just a matter of me getting him on the phone. I'm like, "Hey Ryan, dude, you gotta talk to my son, man. He was supposed to be here." Actually, every person, you weren't the only one. Every person that I had invited to WealthCon, which was Future Flipper back in the day, now it's WealthCon. I would have Ryan call him out. So you were the third video he had done for me. And the funny thing is, 2 out of those 3 people ended up going. So Eli was one of them. You were the second one. There was another person too that we called out, but they ended up never going. So they actually do real estate, but they didn't go to WealthCon. So you got called out. You got this chip on your shoulder. So now what do you start doing after that?
But it's not even that. I would remember going early to the office, making some calls, and then having like this time where I'd want to go check out the properties that I was calling, right? But I wouldn't even have time to do that because I would look at I didn't have a watch, but I'd look at the time. And I'd be like,
your phone.
Dude, I have to go to work in 30 minutes. I can't go see this property, or I can't go check this out. I can't take pictures. I have to go to work. And so I wanted to have all that time free so I can do whatever I needed to do to close these deals.
Yeah.
So now I have that.
Now you have that time. And doing that full time, did it make a difference?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. So you have to be all in, basically. Like that's. So what's your advice to people then, like that want to get into real estate? Like, do they have to quit their job?
Yes, you do. It's just that investment you make in yourself. I really did invest in myself, and I knew that I had potential to do this.
Yeah.
I sold sneakers before, and I did pretty good. And I wanted to translate it to this too.
Yeah, so you were already doing a little bit of sales, little entrepreneur worker.
And I've always been the type of guys where like, dude, we're all human. If this guy can do it, what's stopping me from doing it?
Sure.
Like,
Yeah, anything's possible. How long did it take you to do your first deal?
7 months.
7 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Did you think it would take a lot less time, or what do you think caused? What was the 7 months? I mean, you were still working at the time, actually,
Yeah.
right?
No.
That was part of it.
No, I didn't think it was gonna be quick at all, dude. That's the only reason I stayed during the 7 months. I remember after work, like there's a 30-minute period where you can plan for the next day, and sometimes in those 30-minute periods, I'll just be like calling people or like following up with people.
Working while you were at work.
Yeah. Or calling you, asking you questions on like this property or what to say. But it took a while. It took a long time to get to that one person who wanted to sell. And not to mention, I probably wasn't as good on the phones when I first started.
Yeah, you get better over time, practice.
So
Best practice is to do it, right? To actually get on the phone and do it.
yeah.
You got all these real estate agents at my office who are like scared to get on the phone, man. I gotta practice. Honestly, your best practice is being on the phone. Like, yes, we can role play, but you just gotta be on the phone. There's a script, right? Use the script. Like if you go to these like telemarketers, they just they give them a script. They don't role play. They just get on the phone.
I think some people just care too much. Like I was talking to you earlier, there's thousands of people in Bakersfield. If 500 of them reject you, like how many are you going to see in real life? Or like, what does it matter to you that they rejected you? Like, oh, well, move on.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
They flipped you off on the phone. They cussed you out, but you're like, you don't know me. I don't know you.
Oh my God, I don't want to make phone calls because I got cussed out.
Yeah. So, okay, it took you 7 months to get your first deal. What would your advice be to people, like if they want to get into real estate? But you know what? Before you do that, what does it look like? What does it look like on a day-to-day? Like, what do we do? Because your job is different than my job, obviously.
Yeah. So I'll come in here in the morning. I'll get on my services, resources, like the different websites we have. We just have different websites where we can cold call people. We can find properties, whether it's driving for dollars, going out in person and writing down these addresses down, or looking down the addresses on the website. And then you can find their numbers by skip tracing them. And basically, I'm just in there for hours calling all these numbers and seeing if looking for people who want to sell their properties.
Yeah.
Off market.
It's funny because so you're not licensed. Yeah, you're doing the off market stuff. And okay, so then you find a deal. Then what happens? Like you find someone that says, "Yeah, I'll sell my property or I'll sell my lot." Then what happens?
So yeah, I'll sell my lot, and then that's when you kind of just want to see what their situation is. You gotta ask them questions and know where they're at. What do they want? What do they need? So this particular lot that we had, the lady just was taking care of the lot, paying taxes, but she had nothing to do with it. She was out of state. She just can't build on it.
She was just like maintaining it, paying to clean it, taxes.
Hey, why not cash you out? We'll give you $20,000 in cash, right? So
yeah, 21,000.
And if we can agree at a price that works for both of us, we'll send them a contract, purchase agreement.
Yeah,
with a deposit on it.
So
and they'll get that.
So you make the call, you identify the seller.
Yeah.
And then you kind of pre-negotiate, and then you come to me, and then we'll talk about the deal.
Yeah.
And then you go back and kind of close the deal, and I'll send the contract and get it into escrow, buy it, and deal's done. And then we, obviously, I'm licensed, so I put it on the market. So essentially, what we're doing is it's not like a true wholesale, where we send it to a wholesale buyer, but we put it on the market, which that kind of opens it up to a bunch of buyers already, right? I don't have to have a list. An agent will bring a buyer, so we do pay on the commission side, but that's been working.
Yeah,
that's been working for us. So anyone who who's out there who wants to get into wholesaling or hoteling, or what would your recommendation be to someone that just wants to start off? What do they do?
There's a lot. One thing that helped me is I didn't compare myself to other people. don't compare your timeline to other people.
Yeah.
Don't expect things to happen in a certain amount of time. Just know that everything moves at your own pace. And if you put in the work, doesn't matter when it comes, you're gonna get a return eventually. I'm not saying it's gonna take 6 months, 8 months, 1 month. It's gonna be at whatever time is happening for you.
Right. I got one recommendation, one suggestion is subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel, give us a like, and we're going to produce more content that's going to help you through your journey. Also, you're on social media, right? I'm on social media. Invest with Pablo. Invest with _Pablo on Instagram. I think I'm Invest with Pablo on TikTok as well. What are your two?
My TikTok is Vargas Holdings.
Vargas Holdings. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I haven't started really growing my Instagram for business.
Never too late.
If you want to follow me on Instagram, ask me questions or anything like that, it's Ethan _Vargas 84.
84. So, but I know on TikTok you've had a little bit of success with it. Just a few videos that you've uploaded. People actually have one guy that's making phone calls, right, on the team that found you through TikTok. So, yeah, we get a lot of people that contact us. And here's the honest truth, man. Like, everybody's interested. I think everyone's a entrepreneur.
Yeah,
they all
100%. Everyone's an entrepreneur.
Everyone's a entrepreneur, and that's cool. It's okay to be a entrepreneur, but when you actually want to like succeed, you got to start becoming a doer, not just a wanter. And so, doing the actions, you know, like for me, my first flip, I had to go in there and learn how to install floor, how to, bought a spray machine and sprayed. There's some flippers, like we mentioned Ryan Pineda. He didn't do any of that, right? He hired people to do that. I was learning how to pick up a hammer and, you know, not the most handy person myself, but I took the time to learn. I went on YouTube and like I YouTubed everything.
Real quickly, I want to add to is don't use any doubts that you have to use those as an excuse not to do what you want to do. I was 18, 17, and sometimes I was like, what the heck, dude? I'm talking to these 40, 50, 60-year-old people who have like 40, 50 years of knowledge over me, and I don't know if I sound like I know what I'm saying half the time. But I was like, whatever. I'm just do it. Who cares?
You're still finding those deals. And what's so funny to me is, so I have a team of 6 agents. I think there's 6 of us total. So I've got 5 agents. And, you know, a couple of them will come to Ethan and be like, I don't know how you do it, man. And it's not rocket science, right? We know how you do it. You're on the phone every day for 4, 5, 6 hours a day. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
But it's like there's like some kind of like magic pill that people have to take.
No.
Take the red pill or the blue pill, or
it's not even being on the phone. Like the other day, I spent like 1 or 2 hours just digging for one person's contact info.
And you got it.
And I think I found it. It was like I went on Google. I went to this website, went down, found the relatives, found like a bunch of different things. Finally found his number.
You go down like a rabbit hole sometimes. You just like
sometimes, and sometimes it's for nothing. Sometimes
yeah,
can't find.
So you gotta be willing to do that, right? That's true entrepreneurship. Is there's gonna be risk involved, but you know you're not risking too much. I mean, at the end of the day, you're doing something that's it's gonna result in success if you keep doing it consistently. So but that's pretty much it, man. I appreciate your time, Ethan. I appreciate you coming into the office every day. This guy does hustle. He's still growing, he's still learning. There's a lot of things. He's young buck, 19 years old, right? 19 years old. When did we close our first sale? Were you already 19? Or was it 18?
I was 18 in the first one.
Yeah. So and you know that's part of like also surrounding yourself with people, because he eventually did go to this real estate seminar, Future Flipper, WealthCon now, and he met other 18-year-olds that were like, yeah, I flipped my first house when I was 17. My sister did the LLC, flipped it through her. We have Sergio here who, one of our real estate agents, flipped his first lot at 18. But he had already had money saved up, so he was disciplined with his money. So
yeah,
you just got to be disciplined. You got to take action. You got to be disciplined, stay consistent, and you'll have success in this business.
Try to be competitive too.
Try to be competitive.
Be as competitive as possible.
But, my theory is the biggest competition is yourself, honestly. You're competing with, like, all these thoughts in your head. And So anyways, guys, thank you for checking out this video. Hopefully we can produce more. If you like this content, subscribe and like. And if you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comment section. So thank you, Ethan. Appreciate it, man. Thank you, son.
Thank you for having me.